So I know we have only probably about 11 minutes left till your next appointment, but I just wanted to describe a few more things about our business. First of all, on a competition front, we think we're the first company to ever do this. There's frankly no other competition out there for this type of learning. We've looked out there, we've done Google searches. We're fairly confident we're the only ones doing this, giving us a first mover advantage in the space.
So, you know, I understand that you say that there's no competition, but it seems like the human race has been remembering things for a long time. So don't you think that the current methods of just braining it through is competition?
Well, that's a good point, but we have found that this is a best practices approach where the students who actually do the best are the ones that are spending time listening to music and applying mathematical formulas to those songs, right, and using it as a study skills technique, these 5 students I mentioned. And so we believe from that research right there that it's actually rather novel.
So it's clear the issue of no competition. You may be surprised, but there are many, many startups that come to talk to us where they really say there are no competitors. And so, and that's always very difficult because obviously the world is working without your product in some fashion, right? So there is some competitor, even if the competitor is to do nothing. So, and usually for many products, doing nothing is a very, very strong competitor.
So, Armando, why don't I show you how we're going to actually convert this into revenue over the long term? This is a slide that most entrepreneurs dread to put up in a pitch because the financial projections, no matter how you present them, are going to be wrong. In that you're really taking two approaches here. One is you're going to be very conservative and show a very slow ramp, which would then look like you're not being very aggressive. Otherwise, you could take an approach and go very aggressive and knock this out of the park, and then you could be considered naive. So as an entrepreneur, I'm trying to balance which of those. I'm going to go big. I'm going to put a large projection out there and see if I can entice Armando to be interested based on the size of the numbers. So Armando, as you can see from our projections, we actually believe that we can be at a $170 million run rate by 2016 with this product, with just Math Rockstar alone. That doesn't include Reading Rockstar, which is another product we're working on in the background. But Math Rockstar, $170 million, and we think we can be profitable in the next year and a half to 2 years.
Well, you know, at 99 cents a download, that's 170 million people. So that's kind of like half of the United States would be using your product.
Well, we do believe that music is an international language, and so is math. We think we can do this global from day one. And if you take that into consideration, it's actually a much smaller penetration requirements over the next 5 years. And if you look at Gangnam Style with 400 million views, we know we can get easily 170 million downloads in 5 years.
I see. And can you tell me about some things about your assumptions on margin? What are your margin assumptions for this company?
Well, that's a great question. With margins, one of my teammates who handles the numbers, Larry, he isn't here, unfortunately, and he has the numbers and could answer that better than I could.
I see. So clearly Doug is losing some credibility here because he's put in some number that is so big that it's clearly indefensible. Even so he has to straddle that point between it being attractive and then being incredulous. And then the fact that he didn't know the margin number means that he's not in control of his company, the levers that I talked about, the finances. He has to rely on somebody else, and so that further reduces his credibility because he doesn't know, he's the representative, he's the person here, but he doesn't know everything about that company. And as you're starting a company, you have to really know it. And margin is also, for probably another longer discussion, but is a very, very important concept.